Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. Have a free review all here on Calais. Let's go through the players. It's on the Western Front. We have Kigerung going straight out the gate with several rear echelon again. I'm seeing Kigerung doing this a lot often recently. What are they trying to do with it? Is some kind of strategy they have got going? Anyway, we have Blah here as mechanized company straight at the gate for the United States, starting with some combat engineers. Ooh. And finally, we have MJP 919 as the Commonwealth, rounding out here the Allied forces. Representing the Germans today. We have Mars Grand as the Wehrmacht, who's not moving. I believe they have trouble loading in or something, hopefully. Hopefully they're not AFK. We have Deviant as Panzer Tactics for the Waffen-SS straight at the gate with Hitler Youth. And we have ICAUT also as the Panzer Tactics with Waffen-SS. Well, actually, no Waffen-SS. Well, they are Waffen-SS, but they're going for Sturm Pioneers rather than the Hitler Youth. So this should be interesting. Hopefully, Mars Grand is just lacking here, because this is wasting a lot of time for the Axis, where they could have gotten ground. Let's hope it's not bad. Oh, I see Pioneers moving. Yeah, so now they got going. Okay, no Comanches yet, though. Not sure what Mars Grand is doing with there, but we have a firefight in the center with the Sturm Pioneers. Americans are quickly overrun the southern flank with Companies and rear echelon. That is a very different build. Baracken going up here, we have double Volksgrenadier coming up from Mars Grand. Hitler Youth now reaching the front line, which will certainly help the Germans show up the front line here. Lots of extra rifles. Those rear echelon cannot hold there forever. And now the Germans are the Americans are probably wondering where the hell the Germans are on the southern flank. But Germans are securing the north, British are slowly moving out here with their rifle sections. And the Germans to hold the center here thanks to the Sturm Pioneers and the Hitler Youth. Let's see, we do have Volksgrenadiers now arriving. Will it be enough though? Because the Americans are digging in and slowly getting eyes on the field point here. Coming in here to reach the front line here. Unique unit to be able to mechanize. A pretty good unit, by the way. Coming in here, you can also get access to the mechanized troops. Cavalry troopers, right? You can get you can choose between the Companies or the cavalry troopers. The Companies cost more, but I think they're a little bit better. Ooh, double rifle section on the northern flank here, being very aggressive. Hitler Youth trying to get behind cover. So we have lots of Hitler Youth on the battlefield today. Ooh, the British are getting up behind the hay, but this is heavy cover for the Hitler Youth. And they are pretty decent with some of their equipment. Ooh, good dupe there. But we do have the Sturm Pioneers up on the flank. Taking out one rifle section. Need to focus down that. Oh, they lost the Hitler Youth. And now that Sturm Pioneer might be in trouble. Because once that machine gun sets up, that's a dead Sturm Pioneer, I think. Yep, here goes. Oh, that's heavy losses for the Germans early. Looks like they have a choice on here. This might be Panzer. All the Germans are Panzer. Okay. Lots of Panzer on the battlefield today. This should be interesting. Carbine sent out here too, the Companies to improve their short-range firepower. Panzerjägers on the field here with a Panzerbüchse. Will they kill this last guy? Yeah, they do. Maximum machine gun coming up here. Brits have lost all the infantry actually. Only have the sappers left. Hitler Youth spreading around. They are cheap infantry squad after all. So they have several Volksgrenadiers still holding the front line. Trying to fight again all these rear echelon, which I think is now armor. Yep, no, that's tank destroyer. Never mind. We will use tank destroyer. And tank destroyer is pretty decent, so not a bad choice. Machine gun coming up here for Kigerung. I don't think the Grenadiers are Volksgrenadiers are prepared for this 30 caliber. We do have an MG42 arriving here for the Panzer Grenadier. But will they be able to get into a good spot is the question. They're trying to get inside the building. Not sure it's the best spot because the 30 caliber can still hit them and they can't get a grenade off here. Yeah, so that's actually bad for that MG42. Will the grenade do anything? Oh, it kills them! Oh, that's a huge loss. Universal carrying an northern flank here. Providing a mobile Bren gun. But I think the Panzerbüchse can pierce the front of a universal carrier. I believe so anyway. Oh yeah, I can. Definitely can. Company's taking shots here against this tank counter section. Not a lot going on though, but I think the Germans will win an engagement thanks to the extra rifles. Double Hitler Youth trying to push down here, but the 30 caliber stops them. Using the cover of the heavy barbed wire, evidently. Which does count as light cover, by the way. Now that's heavy cover. I personally like the barbed wire, especially or at least the heavy ones, to like destroy tank tracks if they drive over them again. I think it was a nice call. Like the normal ones could just slow down tanks or vehicles essentially. Because I believe you should really try and avoid hitting reinforced barbed wire. It's supposed to be really strong after all and just get tangled up in tracks and everything and wheels. Ugh. Nasty, nasty stuff. I suppose now that we have the Spearhead development team back, we'll see what happens. This is still the Stockton Moldy version, which will actually be separate from the main one, as I understand, balance-wise. But of course, I will just upload replays of both versions once they're out. It'd be nice to see. Good to see what the Spearhead team has in their plans. Especially Common Heroes 3 here soon. Coming out in November, I believe. I've already pre-ordered it. Probably because I want to get going like day one, and I've also been most of the alpha tests so far that's been public. Which you could also just sign up for if you know what you were doing. Just on their website. Pretty simple stuff. Ooh, those Hitler Youth are getting good shots off of those rifle sections, actually killing them. Instant grenade. Doesn't do a lot of damage. And that Saber is definitely dead. Like, Hitler Youth are not bad infantry. For being how cheap they are, they're pretty competent. Or Hitler Youth are running here with MG34s. Already suppressing the combat engineers. The Fox Grenadiers are holding the front line here for the Wehrmacht. Riflemen on the field now. Moving into the building with a BAR. That could be a problem here for the Fox Grenadier. They do have some light cover thanks to the bush. Throwing a steel hand grenade inside the building. Didn't do a lot. And the Riflemen might be able to gun down these Fox Grenadier. But they might have to focus on the other one. One more Hitler Youth arriving alongside a mortar. Like the BRs are pretty good guns to have on your rifleman, by the way. Pretty decent. You have another MG42 running here for the Panzer Grenadier. Ending up here quickly. Good smoke grenade. I'll probably cover the retreat. Lots of firepower around here, but the Americans have dug in with lots of machine guns. Even trying to blow up some cover as they retreat. Or at least pull back. British are still trying to fight up here. They've not picked the commander yet. Being very cautious with their picks, I suppose, so just waiting. Doom Pioneers and the Panzerjägers trying to hold up here. Half-track arriving here, command half-track by the way, which is unique to SS Panzer. I think there's a lack of AT at the moment for the Americans. Yes, there's no AT equipment or mines, so this half-track will be able to provide a lot of support. 30 calibers doing a lot of damage though. Artillery being called here by the half-track is being hit by armor-piercing bullets. But the artillery will land soon, and that'll be a problem here for the machine guns. And the half-track is also repairing itself, which I think is one of the things that can be upgraded right here. Artillery didn't hit too much. Oh, never mind. I did a lot of work there. That machine gun might actually be in trouble. Because the command half-track cannot be suppressed. Which means the machine gun will always fire. That's intriguing. And then under the machine gun, the command half-track could not be suppressed. Very, very intriguing. But we do have an anti-tank team here. Running with a bazooka. But we do have Hitler Youth on the flanks. Will it hit? Half-track is moving slowly, and indeed it does hit. I believe slower moving vehicles are easier to hit with rocket-based anti-tank equipment. We do have a Bren gun here in the Sabers. But the Germans have secured a lot of the northern flank here. More artillery being called in. Oh, we even have the unique 28th infantry now here for Kigerung for the tank destroyers. Armed with shotguns. They don't have the unique icon yet. The good old trench gun, I believe it's a Winchester. Yep, Winchester model 1912. A very cool weapon. I believe it was used more on the Pacific front than on the Western front, but it's cool to see it, even though it just uses the, I believe, the Springfield or the Kar-98 model, because they don't have any shotgun models in the game. It does a lot of damage though if it hits. Even though long range like that. As you can see, that was a good shot. Like, contrary to popular belief, I believe shotguns are actually pretty good at long range sometimes. It's not actually a very bad weapon as you see in video games generally when it comes to ranges. I believe this shotgun can actually lay down a lot of firepower. I've been suppressed down there though. You have another 30 cal coming up to support them though. And we also have the 30 cal down here. Just a fuselage of fire. You have a Panzer II command tank. Oh! Shotguns killed the squad entirely. That is, does seem to be very powerful, that Winchester. Who knew the Winchester shotgun was that powerful? The trench gun. Might be a little bit too powerful because it seems to do a lot of damage and hits even when they were suppressed. But you have the Panzer II command tank coming here, a little bit more of an armored vehicle, but the tank on the team and an AT gun is ready. 2 AT guns actually. Hitler for trying to fight against the bridges still no command choice from the Brits. Because machine gun might be in trouble. Hitler for trying to get up behind cover here. Opening up with the MG34. And clearing out that machine gun. I do like that the Germans have an Aufklärer, giving them a good idea of what's going on, and the Allies have no idea. At least so far.
Captain just took the battlefield.
Lieutenant is being hit on several parts. Double mortar here for the Waffen-SS. But triple Panzer forces here. Ooh, company is headed to the northern flank to support the Brits. That might be enough to fight back the Hitler Youth, at least for now, but they retreat still. To avoid being hit by incendiary grenades, which they exchanged. Although I think the American one is a white phosphorus grenade, to be exact. Panzer II command tank is ready. Need to prepare some water for myself because it's still very humid. This might actually be one of the last days of this humidity, so hopefully it'll be so. Need to drink a lot of water, people. Always remember to drink water in heat. It's very, very warm. Liquid is good for you. Ah, that's so much better. It's only being called here by the Panzer II. Around here, evidently. Ah, to try and help the Germans secure that point up there. Artillery up here as well. So it's from both officers, actually. Wait, you're gonna hit the Panzer II. One machine gun cleared. Germans could move to probably take the point now. MG42 inside the building now, doing a lot of work. But we do have an A2 Sherman coming onto the field soon. Triple mortar here for the Waffen-SS and a Panzer F1 command tank. That's a 4 F1 to be exact. Excuse me. AT gun hitting here though. Got a good shot. Will the F1 pop smoke? It's probably gonna get out of there. Panzer 2 needs to be cautious. Ooh, yeah, he manages to back off. F1 has to be cautious still. Half-tacker ramming up here. Using his 50 caliber to cut into the German infantry. Pioneers are ready for repair detail. Or the HQ set up here by the Wehrmacht. I suppose it will allow them to keep the front line held. Brits are still trying to push up here. Still no commander choice though. They're going to be fighting a lot of MP40s. SS Panzer Division actually gets a lot of MP40 based weaponry, a lot of automatics. They also have a Panzer IV in the battlefield. I believe it's cheaper variant of the Panzer IV that does not arrive with a high explosive shell. Ooh, half-tack goes down. I do believe the J also does not have an electrical turret traverse, which means its turret turns very, very slowly. It's very vulnerable to being flanked. That's at least what I believe. Boom also hitting around the AT guns. 80 German pushing up. And the Germans, I think, are lacking the equipment down here to deal with it yet. We do also have an M10 arriving for the United States. We do have a pack here. The Germans could potentially deal with it. Not a lot of Panzerfaust though, but the Panzer is now pushing up, and the British were severely lacking in the proper equipment to face this. Never mind. Is this Royal Tank? Is this Royal Armor? It's a weird hammer specialization. Okay. Going straight for the Sherman Mark 5. No, wait, they're cancelling it. They want to go for something else. Sherman Mark 5 is very cheap though. They're going for an 80 gun instead. Second Panzer IV going to be arriving here for the Mthis. M10 on the high explosive kills some of the squad there. Sherman present, building high explosive. Pack is now turned to fight the Sherman. Oh, high explosive does a lot of damage. And machine gunners are clearing it out. Panzerfaust. Decent Panzerfaust that too. 80 gun being crewed here by the officers. We do have lots of American infantry coming up here with Winchesters. Machine gun is setting up. Yeah, very good assault infantry due to those Winchesters, by the way. And we also have the Americans pushing up here with lots of combat engineers. Mining attempt was detected here. Let's see, can the Pioneers fight this? Because that is a lot of MP40s. And indeed, the Storm Pioneers with the MP40I here can actually suppress. Which is surprisingly good for a submachine gun. The MP40I is basically experimental MP40 with double magazines somewhat, so they can just lay down a lot of fire. Basically operates in the game basically as a German MPBSH, I believe, so it can suppress pretty handily. And if you upgrade them with the other MP40s as well, you can double up on the firepower. I'm seeing a bunker here. Command tank present, I believe. It has a dummy gun. So the British command tank is actually pretty worthless in a tank fight, as the British command tanks use dummy guns. So that Cromwell is not going to do much. It's there to coordinate the fight, not fight it. And this Panzer IV is just going to hit into it. Panzer IV is doing a lot of work. We also have an air front pushing up here. Americans are digging into the southern flank with their vehicles as well. We do have an observation stuck around for the Panzer Division. Bunker has been severely damaged. Also the Germans return to mining the road here. Americans have keeping an eye on the front line, but the British are certainly on the back foot. Lots of MP40Is. I like it. If you want to go full on MP40 though, you can go for the Panzer Grenadiers if you're playing as a Waffen-SS Panzer and just upgrade them entirely with MP40s, which is really cool that the first SS Panzer Grenadiers can get that. But people always go for the Sturmgewehrs, my understanding. There's people who prefer Sturmgewehrs. Half class back at the front. We have a pack here. Got a good flanking shot there in the Sherman. Popping smoke. We have a Centaur arriving. Not sure if the Centaur is the correct choice against Panzer IV GAs, but what do I know?
The new engineer section is waiting for
Lots of Hitler Youth in the center though it could kill. Centaur I believe is armed with twin piston autocannons. Hispanos?
Anti-aircraft tank ready and waiting.
I forgot what they're called. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, the Polston. Polston autocannons, that's what it's called. Hispanos is something else. I believe the Hispanos are on the aircraft. Unless I'm remembering the weapons completely wrong, which I might very well be.
Standing by.
That's what you're in the move. Did the telemine ever complete here? Yeah, it is. There's a telemine waiting there. But it's still lacking in AT equipment. They only have that AT gun. The Panzer IVs can lay down a lot of supportive fire with those machine guns. Double Aufklar here for the Panzer Division, and good shot with the artillery. And good usage of the Aufklars, because I believe they can spot where you want to hit with the artillery. The artillery is a lot more accurate. So the Aufklars can get a lot of work done. We also have a pack house, I think. Yes, they do have a pack house back here. That's actually a pretty good choice to deal with the mortars. And that Stuk is in trouble. Smoke pop, but will his driver return in time? Pack house tried to hit it with something. Trying to back off. Nope, but Bazooka gets it. An officer tries to make a run for it. That's for Jason on the march. They've taken out the crew of the AT gun. Even the British in a very bad position. Even have a command tank crew?
Squad knocked out.
A little bit awkward. And the British infantry is just getting mowed down up here. Like out in the open, the Panzer IV Js is just doing so much. I'm not sure if MJP realizes that the British command tanks only have dummy guns. There is an A3 German present though, and the A3 is a pretty freaking good tank. Let's see if I can get on the flank here, but there is a Tellermine on the flank somewhere. F1 is going to be in the way. Not going to last long against an A3. Smoke shield popped here or something. Oh, we do get 180 grade here. Almost destroying the Panzer IV J. Double A3 is now pushing for the Js. Good shot there from the Js. Ooh, this is a risky fight for both sides. But I think the Germans have the upper hand simply because the Americans have to push up into them. But the A3s just have so much armor. But I think the J just has a better gun. No! Oh, that was close. A3s have to pull back for now, I think, but that J might push up a little bit too far. Both sides have to be very careful because those tanks are pretty neck to neck, actually. The armor of the A3 is just so much higher compared to the Panzer IV J. But the J, I just think, has an overall better gun. Oh, a far better gun, far better gun. At least according to the penetration stats, as you can see here.
Orders complete. Standing by. Send your orders.
Far better stats. So it really is that the A3 has better armor and mobility and accuracy in the move, while the Panzer IV J just has a better gun. That's really the big difference. Oh, we got Panzer Ace being upgraded here, which is the unique upgrade to tanks if you're playing as Waffen as Panzer Tactics. Allows them to decapture points. Which is pretty handy if you are going for like a big flank or something to just push through and cause some disruption. You do like a blitzkrieg maneuver as it's called. Where you just drive straight into the enemy lines and get behind them and cause havoc for one strong point and just keep moving with your vehicles. Very aggressive armored play. We do have a Firefly though, which will certainly, I believe, be a problem here for the Panzer Force. Because it's 17-pounder gun. Is a very potent anti-tank weapon to put on a Sherman. Keep them very, very cramped inside the turret though. Not a lot of space inside there with the 17-pounder. Ooh, Panzer Strike cannot hit from there. Explosive loaded. Oh, Panzer misses. Explosive is not firing for some reason. But the machine guns are doing a pretty decent enough job against the Volksgrenadiers here. Even pinning them. There we go, that's the explosive and that kills them. A3 is potent. Volksgrenadier going out and then the infantry is gonna push up very smart. Because the first firing. Oh, recon team spotted. Central charges on the HQ, but the infantry is taking heavy losses. But they do deny that forward HQ. Looks like the infantry even make it, thanks to the supporting fire from the Sherman. Oh, big push here from the Americans and British on the northern flank. Where's the Panzer IV Js? They're still releasing back to the front line. They will suddenly have to relocate a fair few things to stop this Allied push. Allied armor push. Trying to do its best to pull through. But will the German counter-offensive stop them? Or defense, rather. Ooh, good rockets. Almost gonna F1. The tulip rockets here on the Firefly. Ooh, looks like the engine is out there on the Centaur though. Gonna make it a soft target for the Panzer IV J.
Transmissions
Oh, they got a shot there at the 17-pounder armed Firefly. He cannot fire back at the moment. A freeze my move for flank though. Gotta take advantage of the fact that the British tanks are distracting. We do also have an EC8. Probably the pinnacle of Sherman design. Fast, good gun, rapid rate of fire. Good armor, everything, just good everything about it. Probably one of the better medium tanks in the game. Probably the best medium tank the Allies can get. Well, now the northern flank is about to collapse, I think. This Panzermarch is holding up a little bit too much. Allies pushing aggressively, but we do have 80 guns coming to flank. Also the first assassin in the field being upgraded with Sturmgewehrs, as one would have assumed they would. How much for the MP40? Only 40 munitions for 4 MP40. That's actually a bargain. That's a bargain if I've ever seen one. Oh, ECA taken out. A3s have... Oh, A3s have Thunder Run. That's actually pretty good. Gonna allow them to deal with German infantry in fortified positions easily. But now Panzermarch is hunting them. And they haven't switched to APs yet. We need to stand up, prepared to fight a tank. One A3 down.
We just lost a medium tank.
Yeah, A3 has to be cautious. British have set up a new defense with more American combat engineers arriving. Lots of mixed allied forces here. I like how this is turning into a tank battle all of a sudden. Again, all 3 German players are playing as Panzer. So, would be expected.
Ready for further orders.
Let's see, the Panzermarch GA is still on the hunt. He needs to be cautious though. That A3 could easily flank at some point rapidly. Also looks like Icar has used the Kampfkraft Center to great effect, getting all their tanks to veterans free out the gates. Pretty handy. There's a full shot firing probably around here. Doing a lot of stunning. Looks fine. Destroying a Panzer IV F1 command tank. They're calling down artillery though.
Heavy machine gun group
Probably around here, I'd assume. If you're trying to take a shot here. Germans are scavenging, good to see. That's very good for their supply. Scavenging is a very important thing Germans can do. It really helps them into the late game. Also, the artillery got cancelled due to the officer got pinned. Wave 3 is still present here, but there's now 2 Panzer IVs. Wave 3 is going to be outmanned. It is a very veteran team, though. They could actually get upgraded now with the tank commander if they want. The idea is all go for their 50 caliber because the 50 caliber is pretty handy. Double A3 now. One Panzer IV almost got destroyed there. We do have a Tiger tank arriving here for one of the Waffen-SS players. Ooh, lots of armor on the field. We also have a Panzer IV command tank to hold the southern flank. Panzer IV is doing their best to keep back the Americans. We do have a what's this thing called? The Jackson. Armed with a 90mm gun. That's definitely the better choice they have against the German armor, especially that Tiger. Tiger's now pressed at the front line. Jackson penetrated the first shot there. Oh, that was actually Jackson. Never mind, it was the Firefly that fired first. Still the same results. F3 to pull back for repairs. Firefly got a good shot there on the Panzer IV. Germans have lost a lot of their infantry though. Panzer Grenadiers are ready to make a move. Tiger tank pushing up pretty far. A little bit of a risky move. Need to be a little bit more cautious with your Tigers. Not another movement on the southern flank though. Americans are just dug in with lots of fighting positions. With 50 caliber machine guns. They're gonna make it impossible for the Germans to push up down here. Because most of the fighting is gonna be delegated up to this northern field. Get a train station here. Double Firefly with tulip rockets. We also have the King's Own Yorkshire Line Infantry. One of the unique squads able to mechanize. Oh! Tiger tank taken out by the 17-pounders. And Panzer IV taken out by double 17-pounder.
Ready to set up a new forward base.
Those Fireflies are scary against German tanks. Of course, it sucks a little bit against infantry, as you would assume. But really what its intended purpose is for. Lots of Panzer Grenadiers pushing up alongside Hitler Youth for support. Trying to make ground. Pushing up a little far here. Double A3 Sherman on the field now as well again. Actually triple A3 with a fourth one coming all out with high explosives. They're going to push through the German front line. They're trying to go for the HQs. We do have Panzer Force nearby. But Panzer Force... Oh, there was a telemine! I need to remember telemines are very important. Oh, good shot with the Stukas of Fuss. Taking out those A3s in short order. That's a dead convoy of Germans immediately. They did not last long. I almost hurt some American tank commander's eyes, putting him into tears. Pretty good strike though from that Stukas of Fuss. Really saved that front line quickly. Double MG-34s here armed on all the Hitler Youth. Lots of big guns for the Allies there. That's not going to help much against the packs though, I think. Because these vehicles are not intended to fight infantry. They'll certainly try. The machine gun coming up here for the Brits though. Another Tiger tank being prepared by the Waffen-SS. Looks like ICAR is just going to focus on Panzer IVs, which is not bad because it's a lot more of a cheaper vehicle than focusing on Tigers and Panthers. Although I think ICAR could technically go for a Panther. Oh, they don't have the upgrade for Schwere Panzers. On Panzer IV taken out by the Fireflies. I do think taking out for Panthers might be the wise idea, and they seem to be going for it.
Combat unit ready.
Ooh, looks like they got spotted by an American recon down here. Or you're free straying around. More scavenging going on, good to see. That's a lot of fuel from all these Rex Shermans down here. Yeah, 55 fuel per reg, I think. That's a pretty good catch. Which I think with that, ICAR could actually get Panthers after this. At least one Panther anyway. The Panther tank is pretty damn good. Probably the best medium tank in the game, I'd say. Biggest position going up there. MP40 armed Storm Pioneers on the flank being equipped with a Kettenpanzerbüchse. Die Panzerschreck. Ooh, Firefly took a shot then that scared them off. Panzer Force has to be very careful here. Ooh, Jackson took a shot there from the packs. Engine on the Tiger has been damaged because they tried to use this blaze, which has a chance to destroy the engine or at least damage it. Because of how heavy the tank is. A3s are just slowly cutting through the Wehrmacht Panzer Division's defense.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
A3 is doing a lot of work. Smoke popped. MG42 cuts into the tank hunters though. A3 is going for a shot on the MG42. Good shot. Not looking good here for the Wehrmacht at all. They've lost a lot of units. Yeah, still have a lot of fuel and manpower though. Full mobility lost to the Sherman. That's it. Oh, high explosive damage is it? It can happen, it's just very rare. Panzer IV might want to pull back here. It's lost his gunner. Ooh, yeah, that has to pull back quickly. Might be too late. Oh no, never mind, they got it. Tiger tank pushing up, that's a risky maneuver. We do have the police on the field as well. Tiger tank might want to back off. Oh, he took out the firefighter. Repair station up for the Allies. Poles, Americans, and Brits trying to fight against this Tiger. But we do have the Panzer IV flanking up here. Ooh, getting very close to the Firefly there, which is not to the distance. Oh, tulip rockets fired, killing the Panzer IV. Firefly taken out. The Tiger's gonna back off for repairs, I think. Did I see a Panther though? Yes, Veteran C3 Panther out the gates. Now that is a very dangerous thing to fight. Frontal anyway. It actually has more frontal armor than the Tiger, by the way. A fair degree of more frontal armor. So like the Panthers are really good in just frontal engagements. More Fireflies being called here by the Brits. We have double Jacksons in the field now. Actually that's still the M10 from earlier. Coming in here trying to push down here. Denmark Panzer Division has held on until a King Tiger. Do they think the King Tiger will suffice as the Wunderwaffe and allow them to get to the Endsieg? I somewhat doubt it. Generally, you should not put your trust in Wunderwaffe. It sometimes falls a little short and flat. Exposed load here by the Tiger. Ooh, not looking good there for the Tiger tank. Hammer trying to get 6 shots here. Machine guns opening fire on here. Ooh, Panther penetrating in the front. And you 4-2 over here on the side, getting some good shots in. Oh, Panther's taken out actually. Oh, that's a huge loss for the Germans. That's a gigantic loss. You don't want to lose a Panther like that so quickly. Bad luck. Second Tiger being called by the Waffen-SS to support the other one that's being repaired rapidly. By double repair teams from all these forward HQs. King Tiger's almost at the front line. The Germans are just holding on until they can get the Tiger, I imagine. Or King Tiger, rather. Will the King Tiger be enough down here? Because that's going to be a lot for the King Tiger to work with.
Under attack.
Also looks like this HQ might be bugged, and the stuff is still firing it despite it being dead long ago. That happens sometimes. Also looks like full shots, this town basically on fire entirely. Oh, yeah. Basically this entire town, apart from these two buildings up there, are burning down. This poor little train station. That's a veteran C3 King Tiger out the gate. Did it just wait entirely for the King Tiger with the Kampfkraft Center? And it's even pushing northwards. Are they gonna try and push through this allied position with lots of heavy armor? That could be interesting. As the King Tiger is certainly an interesting sight here, especially if it's supported by 2 other Tigers. More Panthers coming onto the field. The combined allied defense might not last a lot longer once those heavy armor pieces arrive. Americans are prodding the other parts of the flank though. Must have been an A3. Germans have nothing to stop it. There's no mines here. There's like nothing to cover the flank, but this command tank has spotted it. He knows it's there. No penetration that time. Looks like the armors are pushing on the north flank here with the infantry and officers. Tiger tank leading the way. Second Tiger also arriving alongside another Panther. King Tiger should probably start driving up as well. Oh, Firefly took a shot there from the Panzermarch. Smoke popped. Tiger tank's leading the way. First this is Panzer just moving up as well with Sturmgewehr. Big fortified position to push up on, especially with a Jackson waiting back there. Smoke popped. Germans are now threading the other part of the front line. But the command tank is getting some good shots in. We're gonna kill them the forward HQ there. They'll probably be able to destroy it. Yeah, they took out the forward HQ there. One Sherman down. Panzer IV is gonna hunt for the other one. Now the Allies also know there's a King Tiger in the front line here. Lots of heavy armor here for the Germans. This is just an overall armored fight on this northern flank. Ooh, Britain's trying to push in for an AT grenade. The Germans are covering it. Well, again, this Panther's not done too well for itself. Doing an MG42 covering it. More Tiger tanks pushing up. Explosive loaded. More Stukas foot shots firing. Yeah, I don't think the Allies have enough equipment here. They need more armor up there to stop them, but they don't really have the armor in position. Now the King Tiger might plan to spearhead, but we do have some Bazooka teams. Doesn't penetrate the front. It is a very hard front to penetrate. The King Tiger has a lot of frontal armor. More rockets. I think the Allies might realize they're suddenly in trouble. They also need to push up the infantry alongside this, but they don't really have a lot of infantry at the moment. You have some Panzer grenadiers ready. Firefly gonna take a shot here, I think. Nope. Nope. Especially against the King Tiger. Taken out immediately.
Sherman Firefly lost in battle.
If we have a Jackson here, that might also try and attempt with this 90mm gun. Not looking good for the Allies all of a sudden. What we do with pursuers on the flank. Jackson hit something in the front, not good. Too much smoke. Firefly firing tulips. Oh, take out the King Tiger! Good old tulip rockets right there. Yeah, tulip rockets are good. Perhaps a little bit too good. Especially that range, because they do get higher penetration the closer they are, I think. So not the best situation for the Germans to be in, and that is kind of the problem with Wunderwaffe. Sometimes it just falls a little bit short when it faces very specific things, but that's not going to deter the Germans. They're just getting a second King Tiger. Lots of Wunderwaffe today. German Panzermarch still continues. Risky maneuver. Yes, lack of allied stuff to stop them though. You have a Sherman getting up behind the flank. And of course, oh, it's hunting for the Stukas Fuses. That's what I'm pretty sure it's doing anyway. It's not having any luck though. What's going for the forward HQs? Why just be going for the forward HQs here? Not looking good for the Allies. The Germans suddenly to have like a Sherman behind the lines. You have one command Panzer IV hunting it down. Oh, Flak took it out. Their Panzers still pushing up here and threatening the Allied base. Where's the Panther? Being repaired by looks of it. Trying back to get repairs. The Tiger tanks are just locking down this part of the front line. Ooh, forward HQ got hit there by a bazooka, limiting its movement. So the Germans might save this forward HQ though. Potentially. Yeah, looks like they do. Double Tiger tank though, that's a very hard thing to fight frontally. Mostly because they're guns, because the Tigers can work very well in unison. 288mm is a very dangerous prospect.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Tigers driving forwards, machine guns blaring. Jackson's gonna take a shot, doesn't penetrate. The British flank has been completely overrun by the looks of it. One more Fireflies arriving. Oh, there's a good shot from Jackson. On return, the Jackson dies. More 3-inch gun here. But cleared though. 57 on the flank. Another A3 trying to flank down here, but the Germans have dug in. Looks like they just intend on holding the southern flank. Another Sherman taken out there, very nice. Tiger tanks requiring repairs immediately. Mobilized there, that's not good. That truck gonna try and scavenge the King Tiger? It is! Okay, it gets taken out. There would be a lot of fuel though from that King Tiger wreck. But it still seems to be in pretty damn good condition despite everything. Second King Tiger arriving here. Triple Blitz! Are they really intending on getting to the wreck of that King Tiger so fast? Clock is working on repairs here. But I think the Allies realize they need to push the Germans back somehow. Because this German push is getting very, very close to the base. Panther took a very good shot. No, more took some first shots. Allies could be in big trouble here. Oh!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
You know, that is very dangerous to see. And the Panther's pushing up right behind, taking out one Firefly. Until we're going in though, more super foot shots. I just don't think the Allies have enough. The Suits are trying their best though. But the front line of the Panther is just too much. Now the second King Tiger is about to reach the front line as well. If she's trying to push up here. Throwing satchel charges. Give a push from the Allies down here as well. Engineers and an A3. But Germans do have a command tank in reserve, just serving as a front line, backline defense. No penetration. But that A3 lacks any support now to deal with the Panzer IV. German heavy bomber is preparing to move, soon I imagine. You have a Sexton here, small self-propelled artillery piece available to all British infantry, or well, all British commanders matter. Is the King Tiger ready to move though? As the Germans just have a lot of truck convoys set up here for repair duty. Not sure they stack though. I do not think they stack, but don't quote me on that. I don't know the mechanics behind them exactly. Next one's doing his best here. But Germans just have too much heavy armor now, keeping an eye on the Allied base from this angle. King Tiger's also moving as well. Panther. Big Panzermarch happening. The Fireflies are not enough. I just don't think the Allies can stop this. Oh, good Sexton hit though. Doing some damage there. Also been suppressed. And Captain shooting at the tanks with his pistol evidently, as we can see down there. Trying to show he's brave. Will it be enough? Probably not, because that's a lot of panzers. High explosive load here by the King Tiger. Is it going for the captain? It is. That's a dead captain. Oh, the Allies are not looking good. There's no Allied armor on the flanks yet. They are getting a Calliope. But will that be enough? Because the southern allied flank is not really moving at all. I think the M10 should probably relocate to try and flank.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
They can now actually hit the allied base. This is not good. Calliope opening fire. Certainly not what the Germans want, but it's not doing enough damage here. Tulip rockets. One penetrates, the other one does not. Ability's lost the King Tiger though. It's gonna be immobilized here shortly. I think. It was just driver injured, my bad. Because the hits the base now. Firefly moving up. King Tiger still operational. Yeah, I think the allies are... yeah, not good. They might even realize that it's not a good position for them to be in at the moment. Been a very hefty match though, with lots of armor pushes up here. Like, I did not expect that much armor, and also look at all these open blitzes. Rushing forwards. Room. That's a lot of panzers. And not even digging in the Panther here. Oh my god, they're just doing everything they can to just keep the allies locked in now. Packet's eaten away. Explosive floated. 180 gun taken out. Other one might get taken out as well. Yeah, there we go. Second Panther arriving as well. Just lots of heavy armor. Ooh, good shot there from the Firefly. Yeah, at this point it is kind of good game because the Germans have just completely overrun the allies here with their armor. Good armored push here.
Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
At this point the allies surrender. Good choice. Well, that was quite a match. I certainly enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.